Welcome, Globetrotters! Today we embark on a fascinating journey into the world of cultural globalization. Get ready to explore the interconnectedness of nations, the blending of traditions, and the impact of technology on our ever-evolving global society. Join us while we delve into the captivating film of Kandahar and unveil the intricate threads of cultural exchange, language dynamics, and international relations.
Today, globalization is constant and irreversible. Globalization influences changing cultural patterns too. In addition, there is happening a mutual penetration of various trends in many aspects of life. Globalization describes the acceleration of the integration of nations into the global system. It contributes to the expansion of cultural ties between the people and human migration. The term globalization in sociology refers to a broad range of events and trends. The development of world ideologies, intense struggle for establishment of world order, spike in the number and influence of international organizations, the weakening of the sovereignty of nation-states, the emergence and development of transnational corporations, the growth of international trade, intensive mass migration, and the formation of multicultural communities, the creation of planetary mass media, and the expansion of Western culture in all regions of the world, and so on.
Currently, globalization contributes to the exchange of cultural values. In the scientific explanation was added the term globalization of culture. The term globalization of culture appeared in the late 80s of 20th century in connection with the problem of convergence of nations and the expansion of cultural relations of the peoples. It has positive and negative aspects. Globalization of culture is accelerating the integration of the nations in the world system with the development of modern means of transport and economic relations and the formation of transnational corporations in the global market.
This concept illustrated how globalization of culture affects the flow of cultural values across nations and blending of tradition, which is what is known for cultural globalization. The film Kandahar demonstrated how the main character Tom Harris was influenced by the way that people live by having them dress and engage in any other traditional Afghan traditions. During his stay, he lived among Iranians and gained insights into their way of life and social interactions.
Every culture has distinctive dress trends that are connected to it. Therefore, clothing habits tends to vary from place to place, especially in the movie where the characters were largely Iranians. A person's or a group of people's views, customs, values, morality, economy, art, and technology may all be shown in their clothing. When the main character learned to wear those clothes, which are distinctive to Afghan, cultural globalization has shown to be true. Cultural globalization also focuses on advances in technology and communication to increase the interaction between individuals and societies living in different geographies.
A high appreciation for technology and communication was evident in the aforementioned film. Most of the characters in the film took advantage of technology to communicate with one another. Communication between the main character and his handler Roman, who was in Dubai, and his wife, who was in United States, is mostly defeated in the movie. The use of cutting-edge communication technologies to efficiently carry on their business and personal matters. character in the movie demonstrated the existence of cultural globalization by communicating with one another through cutting-edge technology. They were able to advance their businesses by utilizing the numerous advantages of technology. The movie demonstrated how communication has advanced and it's how more accessible to everyone from very limited to more futures.
Furthermore, cultural globalization affects languages both positively and negatively. The negative effects include the loss of minority languages as majority languages become normative. Through the effects of English as the international language, problems in communication were already addressed since it allowed people of all races to communicate with one another by speaking in common language. Iranian in the film made an effort to speak in English in order to comprehend Tom Harris. Officers representing the Iranian government spoke English to the informant throughout the interrogation in order to convey the intended sabotage of Iran's nuclear projects. Due to his work as a translator, Muhammad Daud, an Afghan native, was able to assist Tom grasp local language by using English.
However, there is a sign of language loss on the part of Iranians. There were occasions when they spoke English. As a result, both negative and good consequences of cultural globalization are quite visible in language. Positive impacts focus more on understanding, whereas negative effects focus on identity loss. Lastly, the term social cultural dimension of globalization refers to the worldwide mobility and dissemination of people, ideas, and information. One of the main drawbacks of cultural globalization that may have an impact on international relations is conflicting ideologies and views.
In the movie, the conflict between US and Iran can be reflected on their past relations, wherein Iran and the United States have had no formal diplomatic relations since 1980, that resulted to armed conflict between these two great countries. The hostage crisis in Iran in 1979 to 1981, Iran's repeated violations of international law after the Islamic Revolution, its anti-Western ideology, and its nuclear program are all blamed by the United States for the deterioration in ties.
The film aims to highlight the strained relations between Iran and the US by showing how Tom Harris, a CIA agent working for US government, was successful in destroying the Iranian nuclear research facility. The main character's actions in the movie demonstrated how these nations' philosophies differ from one another as a result of their historical conflicts.
As we come to the end of this thought-provoking video, keep in mind that cultural globalization is a double-edged sword with both positive and negative consequences. Let us strive to appreciate the richness and diversity of cultures, while we also fostering understanding and empathy in our interconnected world. Until next time, fellow e-learning enthusiasts,
created you